I may have finally found the power station that's going to work out for our needs in the Sprinter. Guys, this bad boy right here is 2000 watt. It is the PPS2000W from Energizer. They were kind enough to send us this, and look, it has 6 AC ports on the front all the way across. It has DC power output. It has USB ports on here. It has another DC output on this side. This guy is different than some of the other ones that I reviewed on the channel, like the 1000 watt generators, the power stations. They will power like a small coffee pot. They'll make you a pot of coffee, charge all your devices and your laptop on the road. But this guy will run a flat screen TV, run a blender, it will run a power tool, it will run your full-size refrigerator in your house. It's kind of crazy. A super big burst on here, and it has 2 power output on top, running 15 watts for wireless charging on top as well. It's pretty crazy. So it can also be charged for solar setup. You could do 100 watt. I would suggest 2 100 watt panels to charge this on the road from solar. You can also charge it with the included cable from the DC port as well, coming in on that charger port, and you can also charge it from your AC power port at home. But let's go ahead and take a look at it now. I think actually Energizer just sent me a code for this, DRONECAMPSRC. You can use that code to break this down from $2,200 down to like $1,699. So kind of crazy that you can get something under $2,000 that's going to do 2,000 watts. So yeah, let's check it out on the bench. Hey guys, just to give you a size comparison between something like a 1200 watt power station on the left. This is the OOPS 2100 pure sine wave inverter power station, and this one is around 24.4 pounds in comparison to the Energizer PPS2000. This one on the right over here is around 66.1 pounds, so it's quite a bit difference in the weight. Now, I typically don't get super excited about a power station. What's exciting about that? Well, yeah, you have power on the road, but what's cool about the Energizer PPS2000, in my opinion, is it seems like a replacement, which I've been waiting for a long time for my gas-powered generator. I've had the Honda 2000i for years and years, and it's still running. It runs about 8 hours on 1 gallon of gas. This guy right here will power my full-size refrigerator for up to 24 hours, which is totally insane. This bad boy can charge up to 17 different devices at once. It also supports pass-through charging, meaning you can charge it at the same time while charging other devices on the power station itself. It can also support dual input charging, so you can charge from your solar panels and your AC power input all at one time. On the side over here, you can see the full-size fan right here that's going to kick on if it does reach sort of a high temperature. One thing that the PPS2000 doesn't have in comparison to the other ones that I've reviewed is it doesn't have a back LED light, which is really not a big deal when you consider all the things that this thing can power. You could just plug in any type of LED light and have all the lights. Now, one crazy piece of information that Energizer claims will actually work is you could plug this into your Tesla. If your Tesla battery died on the road in an emergency situation with a full charge on the PPS2000, you can actually drive your Tesla with this thing. Now, this power station does seem to also have more AC output ports than the other 2000 watt generators out there, so I think that's pretty cool. It has 2000 watts per port with a peak up to about 4800 watts. And what I also think is pretty cool is the fact that you do have a 10 amp DC 12 volt port right here on this side, but they also give you a higher powered DC port on the other side, 12 volt running 30 amp over on this side, so a little bit higher DC output there for 12 volt devices. Now, for our USB port selection on this side, we have 3 dust covers here covering up the USB ports. We have USB-A up at the very top. Those will charge up to about 3 amp. Those are our standard USB output ports. And then we have also 18 watt times 2 there for USB-A, and USB-C running up to 100 watt right there. I would have liked to have seen 2 of these ports, but maybe they couldn't cram them in there. But still, it is an updated 100 watt port versus the OOPS power station that we reviewed last week that only had a 60 watt power port, which is kind of the old school version. Now we're all looking for that 100 watt power output for USB-C these days. Now, while this has a lot of impressive specs, I think the most impressive things that I've seen on YouTube reviews for the PPS2000 is someone actually running an external AC window unit in his shed. He was able to power it with solar, and he was able to keep his shed cool. So I think in an emergency situation, if you wanted to run any type of AC, as long as you had enough power coming to this to keep it charging while you were running your AC, that's actually pretty incredible. The next big thing was the fact that it can run a full-size refrigerator in an emergency situation up to about 30 hours. Also, what's kind of convenient, if you're camping and people have different types of phones, you can charge wireless on top for 2 output ports that are 15 watts. So right now it is charging through my iPhone's OtterBox, which is super convenient. And when it comes to included cables with the PPS2000, Energizer is no slouch. They include quite a few different cables, including the AC wall charger for the barrel connector that just goes straight in. You can charge it in up to about 4 hours time for 100% charge. You can also input through the XT90 put input right here for the DC port, as well as an XT60 version. You also have the car charger here, so you can charge it while you're driving, say your RV or your camper or even a car. You also get the MC4 connectors as well, so you can go ahead and hook it straight up to your solar panels and start charging it from solar. And they give us an extra long USB-C cable here as well for charging all those devices, and so on. So I think that the value as far as what's included with this bundle, it's actually pretty decent, but I kind of expect it if I'm paying around $2,000 for a power station. Now, I think one of the coolest aspects of this power station is the interface. I think it's one of the most original and usable types of interfaces that I've seen. You can turn on DC output, you can turn on the AC output, or you can turn both of them off if you want to kind of save it. And speaking of the power output, if you leave this on, it will go shut down into eco mode, and it does have a parasitic drain of around 2% every 4 hours. So you're going to get a DC output around 4 hours, a 3% loss, AC inverter at 2% loss per hour. So keep that in mind. You will lose quite a few percentages if you do leave this thing on and just sitting there idle in eco mode. So everything on all together, you're going to lose about 2% per hour. So I would keep this shut off while I was out doing things, or say out for a mountain bike ride. So I think what we're looking at here for the price right now, if you use my code, it's DRONECAMPSRC, all capital letters for the discount. It'll bring it down from around $22.99 to around $16.99. So under $2,000 for a 2,000 watt power station. That's a really good price. I don't think you're going to find that out there right now, and I think this is only good for a couple more days. So I was really trying to just get this review out there for you guys so that you guys can get that discount, especially if you have a family, you have a van, you have a camper. If you're going out on, say, week-long trips and you just want to have something in your car or in your camper, RV, or truck, this is going to pretty much do everything, you guys. Like, there is not a lot of power stations out there around this price that are going to do what this one does. So it does all the things for me, and I've been looking for a replacement for my Honda 2000i gas generator for a decade. So finally we're getting to the point where we have enough power output on these types of solar generators that it's awesome. Solar option, you have dual input charging, you have AC wall support. I think that the charge on that's probably around 4 to 5 hours, honestly. We have up to 17 device output, which is crazy. Pass-through charging. We have low voltage protection, over voltage protection as well. And you can charge by both solar and AC at the same time, which I think is super cool. So this power station, I would give it about a 4.3 out of 5 stars in comparison to some of the other ones that I've reviewed recently. So I think some of the pros and cons that we can look at right now, some of the pros are the 30 amp DC output. You can power lights, refrigerators, you can computers, a full-size flat screen TV, and you can also auto selects the solar panel inputs as well. So that's super cool. Low or high panels, 12 volt up to 145 volt solar panels, and the fact that all the power adapters are included. And also lithium ion phosphate batteries. It will 2,000 cycles internally, and it will still have about an 83% span available after 2000 cycles. So that's really cool. So lithium ion phosphate batteries are good. Some cons about this one probably be that this thing is so heavy. It's 66 pounds, and I really have to get like my big boy pants on to pick this thing up and move it across the yard, taking it in and out of the van. You're not going to hike this down into a ravine and go tent camping with it, probably, unless you have, like, I would put it on a little pulley truck or something like that and take it down. Otherwise, you're going to be really straining to carry this thing. I feel like I want to put wheels on it just to move it around the shop. And also I think the price per watt hour, it's above 80 cents per watt hour on this one. We got around $1.02 per watt hour tested on this. So that's what you're paying for MSRP. So $1.02 per watt hour. So it's a little more expensive than some of the cheaper knockoff like China power stations out there. So take that with a grain of salt. But I feel like Energizer is well known. They know to bring the extra accessories that all of us want, and they're used to giving all the things with their products, and also making it kind of neat as well. So Energizer has a great reputation for keeping all of our things charged. So it does also come with a 1-year warranty, which is also pretty decent. So I'm into about 3 months on mine now, and it's still running strong. So if you want to run all the things, grab one of these. It will pretty much replace your gas generator, and that's what, at the end of the day, I'm happy with about the Energizer Power Station. PPS2000, it's legit. So you can check it out, my link down below. Use my DRONECAMPSRC, all capitals, letters, to get your discount down to like $16.99 from $22.99. So an amazing deal right now, and I believe that's only good for a couple days, guys. So jump on that one. Let me know if you pick one up, or if you already have one. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. As always, we'll be testing more stuff on the channel, more power banks, power stations, and solar stuff, and awesome battery powered things, all the things right here on the Drone Camps channel, guys. I'm Justin Davis. Take care, and I will see you on the next one.